Yeah, when you walked out with that game ball on Saturday, what'd you do with it?
I give it to my family. Yeah, they got it.
So you thought that was cool? Wait a second.
Right.
What are your thoughts about this dire forecast? Does it get in your head at all during preparation?
Nah, not at all. My main job is just going out there and, like I said before, just executing the game plan and try to win. Not so much of what the weather's going to be because I can't control that.
Deshaun, what is the coldest game you've ever played?
I'm not even sure, honestly. Um, Probably something in college. Probably one of those, I think ACC championship games in North Carolina, but it wasn't as. This is definitely going to be the coldest for sure.
Deshaun, you've talked a lot about the connection with Kevin and AVP. How much was there, from what you'd built up during the offseason and the preseason, how much erosion was there in that connection during the time you were away, and how much have you had to build it back up over the course of the last month or so that you've been back in the building?
This whole process has been just taking it one day at a time, regardless if but when I was in the building all season during training camp, and then when I was away from the building, it still was going to be a process, regardless, because we never really had the opportunity to play in the game together, other than, a couple plays in preseason, which was more operational and just kind of getting my feet back on the grass. But, we knew it was going to be a learning curve. We knew that it was going to take some time. So we're not, pressuring ourselves or try to, force any issues or force anything. We just, take it one day at a time, one snap at a time, one rep at a time. And we just got to continue to build and have that open mind that we can do that.
Last week you said you thought you and Kevin, the sky's the limit for you guys together. So what is it about his system that you think you can thrive in?
Just the balance of just the pass and the run. And then we have, a great front five. Those guys up front and the schemes and the way Coach Callahan coaches those guys and how detailed they are. And then also just with, just how he can get the guys, the receivers especially, the ball. Not just one receiver, but just everyone have the opportunity to get the ball and make plays and be special. So, I love the opportunities that we have. I love the way he schemed up the game, and we're just going to continue to grow from there.
As you're building that relationship with him, is it getting to the point when you're getting into a rhythm where you can anticipate now, you know what's coming in certain situations?
Yeah, definitely, because we talk through each and every opportunity and each and every situation. So, with us being able to, talk through it throughout the week, see the film, have meetings. And that's another thing too. Is like, Kevin is also in those meetings with us. So, I get to hear him talk and the way he's thinking about going through the week. So, when I get there Saturday or Sunday, whenever we're playing, I have an opportunity to know like, hey, this is coming up. Unless, something they do on defense, we have to, adjust and things like that.
Deshaun, it seems like you're so vocal, like with Kevin and then obviously with the guys when you're actually out in the field about what you're looking for. I know Jadeveon like a few weeks ago said maybe earlier in your career you weren't as vocal. Has that been like a process for you to actually talk more when you're out there and when you're off?
No, most definitely. Like JD said, early on in my career, I'm a naturally shy person. Like I don't really, I kind of just quiet, kind of observant guy. But as I kind of got older and I guess earned my stripes in this game, I just naturally started talking. And the guys, and now, me being older, being in the league for 6 years, we have a lot of guys that's younger than me that looked up to me. So, they ask me questions. So for me to be able to get them on the same page of what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing, is it's a great opportunity. It's going to help us, overall, offensively to try to score more points and be more successful.
Talking to Amari about you guys have been watching some of your film from Houston, and they're getting an appreciation for what you can do with some of those no-look passes and all that kind of stuff. So how is that helping you and them to have those film sessions together so they can figure out how to work with you?
It helps a lot. Some of those opportunities came up. We haven't capitalized on it, but that's the I guess the reps that I'm talking about during live games is to be able to, we had one last week with Mike Woods. I'm scrambling and I had two guys come up and I kind of throw it no look, but he was going towards the sideline instead of up. And just that little thing, if he would have just saw what I was thinking and he, get on the same page of, this is what I'm thinking. Hey, when I'm coming, I'm drawing guys up and I just go vertical. I can just give it to him and he can walk into the end zone. So, having those opportunities, scrambles, and then just plays that I used to do back in Houston, trying to transfer over here, so and apply it to our scheme. So it's also good because we did the same thing with Coop, early on, and trying to get him the ball. We used to watch, some of the Oakland and Dallas film of like different routes and concepts that he did. So it's awesome to be able to, pull from there and try to, do the same thing here.
When you played the first game in Houston, you said recapturing your former game. You don't know when it's going to come, but you're going to see it when it happens, something like that. And so you're 3 games in with 3 games to go. You're going to see that before the final 3?
I guess so. I mean, my main thing is just operating the offense. So whatever it takes, if it's running the ball 30 times, if it's passing the ball 40 times, whatever it takes to be able to get that win. That's the ultimate goal. I know a lot of people want highlights and, the big shots that, people were seeing the last time I played, and that's naturally going to come. But, we can't force that issue. And you got to understand that the defense and other teams that we play understand that too. They go back and they have to go back. It's a small, sample size of what I do in this system, so they have to go back in 2020 and watch what I do, and they know that, some things might be similar, some things might be different. So, you just got to take it one play at a time, and, eventually it's going to pop up, and when it comes, we have to take advantage of it.
Have you had a couple of those moments there where you said, okay, there it is, like we found a small window or play?
Yeah, I mean, each and every week has been getting better, and that's what I like to see so much. Not so much of just, hey, this is a play, I remember this. It's more of just kind of, all right, each week, am I getting better? Am I getting more sharp with my game and operating and being a quarterback in this system? Because it's a learning curve for myself, too. This is a different system than what I was back in Houston, and I had for 5 years. So, this is a totally different change for me, and I'm trying to adapt as much as, the coaching staff is trying to adapt to me.
Nick Chubb said yesterday he felt like it was a matter of other guys raising their level to meet yours. Is that something you consciously try to do, is kind of set the bar high so guys come up and join you?
Most definitely. We have the talent, we have the operation, and we have a lot of young guys especially that haven't played as much football as me, Amari, a couple of O-linemen, Nick Chubb and things like that. So, the things that I'm seeing and the things that I, back there as a quarterback, I want them to be able to see the same things. Because if we can do that, then that's where the more explosive plays are able to happen, throughout the game.
Deshaun, what do you like about running the no huddle like you guys did on Saturday?
I mean, it's really just, the defense have to commit to what they want to do. So just switching up the tempo is always good. Being able to see the defense and let them show their hand. The hard part is when they don't show their hand, but, they got to make a choice because, they got to be able to communicate as well as us too. So, that's always a good thing.
And how much of that, as you run through that process, is Kevin in your headset, and how much is kind of you going to the line and kind of diagnosing what you're seeing?
It's both. It's both of us. Kevin is definitely, he's the play caller, initiator. He's the one talking to me. But, if I see something, I'm able to check it and be able to get to that play. So that's where the film sessions and communication throughout the week kind of, work at on game day.
So the Saints put the hard press on you in March. They visited you twice. Were you
Definitely.
ever leaning to them over the other 3 teams?
I mean, I'm a Cleveland Brown, and that's the team I was leaning to. But I got so much respect for, Dennis Allen and all the staff that came and visit me, the players, and the owner. She came and visited me, and we had a great conversation and talked, and have so much respect for each other. And I appreciate the New Orleans Saints for that opportunity.
How fortunate are you to have a receiver of that caliber as you're going through this process?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it's a blessing to be able to have Amari and the things that he can do and the things that he's seen, and just be able to be that, big brother for me, because he's older than me. So, having the opportunity to learn from him and what other quarterbacks he played with was thinking and what he think on certain coverages versus certain DBs. And then also for him to be able to talk with the younger receivers and show them the way to be a professional and how to prep for each and every game. It's awesome to see.
Running around and scrambling, how fortunate to have a guy like Amari. You know that somewhere he's out there, doing his thing, and he's probably staying alive for you.
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to have that, and we're just going to continue to build on that. And like I said before, he's been able to talk to the other receivers in the room and showing them, hey, the play is never over until the whistle is blown. So there's opportunities and space, throughout the whole field, especially when I'm scrambling.
We see Kevin, and there seems to be no change demeanor. It's kind of flatline almost. Is that good for a quarterback when you have a kind of a coach that doesn't isn't like up and down emotionally on the sidelines?
Of course, it's balance. It's balance, and that's what you got to do. You never show your weaknesses, and you never get too high. You got to just keep that balance and keep it neutral, and being able to talk and communicate. Because if you're too high, then some guys might not be able to react to that on certain situations, and if you're too low, people might not respect that. So with him being balanced and letting he comes over and he tells you the truth and what he saw, and if he messed up, on a situation, he let us know, hey, that's my fault. And that's what you got to do, as a coach and as a leader. Just take the blame for every situation, even if the blame is not on you. He does that all the time. And I respect Kevin and I appreciate him, and that's one of the reasons why I chose to come play for him.
Amari's.
I'll ask you about that. The narrative that you did come here in large part because of Kevin and what he was able to do with Baker. We've seen what he could do with Jacoby. Was that a huge part of your decision?
Most definitely. And there's a story out there that I haven't told, and I'll tell another time. But on that visit, the opportunity to be able to talk ball and just the connection that we had. It wasn't even about selling me on Cleveland and what's here. It was just mostly just all ball, and me and him had the opportunity to meet and talk about that and see what the future can hold and what we can really do in the system together. So that was what I was really excited about and why I was very high on Cleveland.
Amari's going to hit 1,000 or approaching 1,000 yards again. Where do you think his consistency comes from?
Just the preparation. He don't really change anything. He knows how to adjust. He's a professional. He studies very, very hard. And he understands what we want, with him in this system. And for him to be able to do that, he knows his opportunity is going to come. He's not going to force the issue. And when those opportunities come, he take advantage of them.